all over the track, man. Pardon me, as I come back, as I give it to, I had to beg your pardon. When I travel through the turn, I roll with the squadron. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Take a little jaws, cause the pants are sagging. Try to catch the trick, I will put you in a turban. And have it smelling right, it's the bone scale urine. Chocolatey choco, the chocolate chicken, the rear got diesel, but chicks they were kicking. Yo, bust it out before the buster, around the rhythm and then stick. Around the old town, you pick up the scale just like others to yo. I'll turn the vibe and check out the scenario. Yeah, my man, yo. What's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. What's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Happy Sunday, everybody. I think this is going to be Severance Sundays. I think that's going to work. And to get us all, geared up and ready and maybe even triggered for the work week ahead on Monday, for all of us that have to head into the office for the good old weekly 9 to 5. But I don't know how you all are feeling about the show. I'm getting mixed reviews. Some people are absolutely loving it this season. We are curious about what conspiracies are going on, what fan theories are out there, and some people may think that it's dragging, because sometimes it takes a minute to world build this type of story. But no matter what your feelings are in it, hey, we're going to talk about it. We started it. We're going to finish it. We're going to see it all the way through. And just like last season, I am confident that there is going to be a payoff. If you are new here, my name is Kay Bly. This is Slice of Horror. And if you have not yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button for more content, all things nerdy, all things horror. Support the channel and join the channel membership. There is content that is unreleased there. And we would love to have you part of the Final Girls, Final Guys, Scream Kings, and Scream Queens. I am not here by myself. Charles is here with his Transformers t-shirt on that he wants y'all to see so badly.
You're hilarious.
How you doing today, Charles?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I hope this show picks up because
You're not the only one. I was talking to Tyra from Show Reviews this weekend, and I do believe she's in the same boat with you and is waiting for the show to pick up for her as well. So you ain't the only one. But we ain't gonna keep y'all. It wasn't too much going on in this episode. We got little Easter eggs. This was an episode I think you had to pay a little bit more attention to kind of get what was really happening and to see what's going on in here. So we're gonna try to get through it. First thoughts on episode 2, Charles.
It should have been episode 1. I mean, how episode 1 starts out, it's just boom, you're back into the mix. No explanation for what happened or whatever. And then episode 2 starts out and it pretty much explains how they got here for episode 1. It could have cut one of the episodes, man. They could have made episode 2 episode 1, or at least mashed them together. It could have, the first 2 episodes could have been one episode, really. Now I think that's the dragging aspect of it. It's they could have condensed that.
Yes. Now that part I agree with. I don't feel like we didn't need this information because I wanted this information, but I feel like it could have been a collaborative episode with 1 and 2. They could have made it, even if it was an extended episode, like if it was like movie length episode, that's fine. Some series have done that before. I know Walking Dead and American Horror Story is famous for kind of extending an episode out just to be able to get that one story completed. Especially before we move on.
The premieres and the finales, It would have been a good excuse to have an hour and 30-minute long episode. It would have worked.
I definitely agree with that because I feel like I needed this information and I wanted to see the time span because clearly Milchek was lying, talking about 5 months. This looked like this was a couple of days that went by. I said he a 5-month ass lie. Just can't believe nothing he say. And so that this definitely could have been one episode. But I do appreciate what was in here. I don't think that they should have skipped it. It just didn't have to be 2 weeks worth. Is
Yeah.
all I'm saying. We didn't need it to be split up. Give it to us in 1 week. Because as we learn, everybody's story kind of ended in a different way. We see Helly kind of doing her version of damage control and trying to say, "Hey, oh no, that wasn't my innie. That was me. I had a few sips." And I think her dad called her like a dirty child or a funky kid or something in another
Yeah.
language. I said, I said, "Man, this the man you trying to impress? Them Egan's is something else." Cause
Yeah,
and it wasn't even her that did it. Like that was the innie. Like her dad is something else. And then we see Irving and Dylan, they got fired, which Dylan looked like he really didn't want to be fired because Dylan, like, I got children and whatnot. Like, who gonna have to pay these bills? Like, how you
and
gonna fire
boy ain't
me?
trying to go to work, even though he going to work.
It's just like exactly like what? How you gonna fire me and I didn't even do it? And then of course Milchick lied to him about what happened, talking about there was a fight. He's like you fired him, but then you gave him you told him a lie about why he was fired. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, Irving, which I think Irving is doing this for a bigger purpose anyway. I don't think he's like Dylan or uh, at all in this aspect. I definitely think Audi Irving is at Lumen for another reason, and
Yeah,
I think he's trying hard to get on the same page as his any. Like I think he wants them to be one, and he's trying to get messages to him somehow. So Irving knows something that don't nobody else know. And then they try to pretty much gaslight Miss Cobell and like, oh, we can come back and pretend to give you a position in the company where you gonna be in the office, but you ain't gonna be doing nothing.
pretty much.
Like you think you're gonna have some power, but you really
They just
ain't
put it
gonna
on a
have.
leash, man. That's all it is. It's a leash.
And because she ain't shit either, apparently she feels like she's too good for that. Although she ain't gonna go home and do nothing but go and to her Kier shrine and worship him like Helga when she had her shrine of Arnold in the closet with the book.
Yo, Helga was so bells, man. That little girl was disturbed.
Miss Cobell got the same thing at her house, but with Kier.
Yeah, she do. I mean, you heard her rattle off that pledge or whatever. She know that shit front and back. Like,
She cared more about him than the company itself. Like she's here. She's one of those, thank Kier, praise be to Kier type person. Like she here for the cult stuff. She don't give a damn about the company. She's here for the cult type stuff.
hell yeah. One
I'm
thing
not
that I noticed though with them on the outside, their outside people seem to have less personality than their inside people. And it's like, is the world devoid of personality? Because even when they're interacting with like people who aren't severed, everybody seems kind of off, like kind of on a spectrum of some sort. Which I mean, I saw a review earlier. A guy was saying he don't think it's the same universe that we're in or whatever. And like,
yeah.
I thought that, but it was based for me. It's based on how the outside people act. Like they all seem disconnected, and then the severed people act more like us, but they're at work.
And if you look at it like this is a show you have to really pay attention to the little things. I think is going to add up in this show because I feel like everything in this show is intentional. Like if you look when they get off of work in the parking lot, it's cars that look like they're from the 80s and 90s, and then it's cars that look like they're from like this time the 2020s. So it's like you don't know what year it is.
Yeah,
And the way that they're so obsessed with war, I'm hearing fan theory saying that what if the Civil War didn't turn out the way it would, like in real life? Like, what if it went differently?
I mean,
And,
I'm sorry, but if the South won, ain't no way. Ain't no
that's
way
some
a
people.
few thousand people with like 45 teeth between them gonna make a company. Like, I'm just.
You know what? I got to move on because if I sit in it, if I sit if I sit in it too long, if I stay if I stay here,
Oh man, I'm just
I'm not
saying, man.
I'm not
I
gonna be
don't
okay.
buy it. I don't buy the Civil War angle.
If I stay in this place, I ain't gonna make it through this whole review. I ain't gonna make it through these slides. I got to move on because y'all, if I stay right here, it ain't gonna be
Oh.
good. We gonna be here the rest of this review. And I I got it. Okay, y'all. I'm cool. I'm cool. All right. Mr. Milk who they call him? Mr. Milkshake. What Mark S called him.
I
Out
call
here
him by
doing
his first
damage
name,
control.
man.
Cause he's got to be the one going back and forth to smooth things over, so to speak, with everybody. And some of y'all getting fired, some of y'all getting promoted, and I just need to keep my position because I got raised, so y'all gonna have to act right, so they keep me here. And if you notice, a lot of the scenes with the Audis were shot in the dark.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot of play on lighting and colors with this show to convey the contrast between what the world looks like for their Audis. And think about it, and they're being kept in the dark.
yeah.
They're being kept in the dark.
I get the allegory. I also feel like the world outside of work in this universe is lackluster. Like there is a dreariness to the world, and I don't know, man. It's something going on with the world itself. I'm fairly convinced it's not like here. It's not this universe. I'm fairly convinced of that at this
It's
point.
got to be some kind of dystopian society that's taking
Yeah,
place. And the thing is, we spent so much time in office last season. We didn't really sit with what the world on the outside looks like, to where
yeah.
why would these people even want to be severance? Like, why would y'all sign up for that? Like, it
I
has to
mean,
be, it's something to that.
we're seeing the work version of people being severed, but you had that rich lady who got severed to have kids.
Mm.
Like I don't know, man. The whole world just seems horrible.
That's I'm just like, it's something to that we haven't quite discovered yet about the world on the outside. And at this point, Milchek is one of those villains that I can't be on his side. And I take the side of a lot of villains, but Milchek ain't had an honest thought in his mind since we met him. Coming in there with them short sleeve button up shirts.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. If there's one thing I can't stand in office, is a damn short sleeve button up shirt. I don't know why they bother me so much.
my God, he
It's
ain't got
just
the physique. He ain't got the physique for
I don't put on a blazer over it or something. Something just look off
it.
when you wear that. I ain't even a fashion police, but don't come with that white button up tucked in shirt and when it's short sleeve. or something. Either wear long sleeves or put on a jacket with it, a blazer, because I don't know what's going on. But now I see he done got a promotion and he done switched the style up a little bit, but he's still lying like hell. He don't say shit honest.
Yeah, he diabolical. Like he does it with a straight face and a smile, and that makes it so much worse. But like, is the for me the contrast of how he approached things though, when he approached like Dylan and like, everybody else to like fire them, it was still with a smile, but it was just blunt. It was like, we're done. But when he approached Mark, because they need Mark for some freaking reason, which they're slow rolling us getting to why they need this nigga. But they need Mark for some reason. He comes over with a smile and platitudes, excuses for the switch, for the guy, the after hours protocol thing or whatever.
The overtime contingency.
Yeah, and then Mark is all like, I ain't signed up for that. And homie like, yes, you did. You ain't reading fine print clearly. And like that's what got me, man. Like, how is Mark so twisted up about his wife's death that he signed away a part of his psyche to this company without reading the fine print? Like he didn't read, he just signed the shit. Like
and that just shows how deep in the grief that he was to escape. But his sister seems to be the only one out of Mark and was it Rickon and her that seems to be in a right mind, because she ain't here for the foolishness. She's just like, I believe the any part of my brother, and if he tell me this is what's going on, I'm gonna believe him. And see, she a real one because she ain't say nothing.
She didn't.
She kept the information that he told her to herself. Yeah,
yep. Picture, she hid it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I said, see that Devin a real one.
When I saw her hide the picture, because she kept picking at Mark's brain about him saying she's alive, and at first I was like, does she think that Mark was referencing his wife or whatnot? And then I kind of thought, well, maybe not. But then when Seth showed up and she hid the picture, I was like, so she really is thinking that Mark was referencing his wife being alive when he was his any and whatnot. So I mean, she quick, man. She real quick on the ball when it comes to like deciphering what's going on. Her husband, on the other hand,
her husband reminds me of Zach Galifianakis.
He does, but like listen to his like hearing any Mark read Seth's book, and like Seth is not Seth, but what his name is.
Okay.
Reading his book, man, he's such a dumbass. Like, just listen to how.
That book wasn't but a bunch of gibberish. Okay, that book was fool, and he wanted he wrote a whole bunch of foolishness on some pages, and wanted to have a book night to read the pages out loud. That book made less sense than a Dr. Seuss book. Okay, they might as well been reading one fish, two fish, red fish, and blue fish. I actually think I would find a still philosophical meaning in that book than I would of reading his book, because that was. And then was mad because then nobody wanted that Mark ain't want to read that. But any Mark in there, because they ain't got no books at all, thought this was profound.
Hell yeah, they never had nothing else. So, oh man, yo, I had to do it to him. But when Dylan went to go get that job at Great Doors, is a place.
I can't believe they was having a conversation about doors. Dylan stayed in the pocket longer than what I thought he was gonna be, because I would have broke character real soon. Because this discussion about doors, I said, "How long, Dylan? How long you gonna hold out?" Because I would have broke.
But they was definitely like I feel like there was a Rick and Morty reference, because it was a dude on Rick and Morty selling fake doors. And I was like, yo, how y'all? They had doors on a conveyor belt. Like, what kind of door company?
And said, what is your favorite type of door? And if you could be any door, what would you be? Then you got to do a whole lot of lying.
Man.
That just shows that to me. That shows the type of lies that we somehow have to tell to get a job,
Oh
because some of
yeah,
these jobs be asking us the most ridiculous stuff,
that's
and
what
we be
that
sitting
whole
there
show
trying to
is for.
hang in there. Like, why would you ask me that? First of all, why would you ask me what was my last job when it's right there on the resume that you have right there? So why are you asking me
Uh,
that? And why would you
yeah,
ask me what my flaws were, but then tell me but then tell me my flaws made me hinder me from doing my job? Like, it just be a whole bunch of foolishness that they're asking. Or, what if, one day you were flipping burgers, and and it was so busy, and you had to flip burgers and you had to take orders. How would you handle that?
yeah, and whack ass hypothetical. Like,
And you try to sit there and hang with them, like this would be a odd situation for me to flip burgers, take orders, and run the drive through by myself, because you as a company, why would I be in there by myself to have to do this? I don't. That
my
sounds like
first
a
thing
problem for
was,
y'all.
sound like the manager fucked up.
Exactly. But you'll be asking ridiculousness and expect you to be serious in answering these questions. And Dylan was doing his best to answer
Yeah,
these questions until they found out he was severed.
man. But it makes sense to me because if if you don't understand the technology like that, like, and he can be just switched on and off at any point in time. You working for somebody else who may be like, a rival to Lumen, and they can turn dude on, you know what I'm saying? Turn them off or whatever. And dude could be spying from the inside, working for the door company. So it's like, I understand it's hard to trust somebody who's not all them. Because he can't control his actions once he's dealing, once he switches over. So yeah,
But
like,
child, they looked at them like he was the scum between his toes. Like they were second class citizens. I was just like, oh my God. I mean, like,
yeah,
I get you don't agree with it, but like,
it gave me real X-Men vibes. But that scene though with the you were severed, to me, what I first thought about was like a felon. When the felon tries to get a job, it's like it's like, God damn.
you know what? We ain't even gonna get into felons having jobs at this point. I'm gonna just leave that another one. I'm gonna
Wait,
leave that
don't
where it
worry.
is.
You're right.
I'm,
You're right. No felon should be denied a job.
I'm gonna leave that one alone right there before I just jump off the deep end all over again. Y'all, if y'all are still with us, we have a little bit left to go of this episode to talk about. But real quick, I just want to say shout out to all the subscribers, shout out to all the channel members, and thank you all for rocking with us. Again, if you have not hit that subscribe button, send a super chat, super thanks, support the panel, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear. No, I can't help but to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a beautiful wedding. What a beautiful wedding.
Thank you.
Bridesmaid to a waiter. But what a shame. What a shame. The poor groom's bride is
Thank you.
no more. I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of?
Thank you.
Closing a goddamn door. No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in. Haven't you people ever heard of?
Thank you.
Closing a goddamn door. No, much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of.
Again, Devin is a real one. And when he called her Persephone at the beginning of the episode, I don't know how well y'all are into Greek mythology.
Not at all.
Okay, I had to look into that a little bit. But I did watch because I do a little Greek mythology. I ain't deep into the trenches of it, but I'm with the like what was the little, like, the Percy Jackson.
Oh wow.
I like the little series and the little movies that they had out. Don't judge me. I was
I
into
thought this was
those.
gonna be like Troy, you know what I'm saying? The Iliad, the Odyssey.
Percy Jackson. And the show that Jeff Goldblum had on Netflix that came out last year. That was about Greek mythology. I can't think of the name of it, but we did review that. That's on the channel. And so I was like, let me go back and kind of look at that. And Persephone was someone who spent time in both places. So she was able to spend some of her time in ruling over hell, and then some of her time in the real world, which means she got to know people when they were alive and see them again should they end up there as someone who is deceased.
Was
And
she
him.
was she married? Was she what you call his bride? Hades' bride or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Rosario Dawson played her in Percy Jackson. That's the same character.
Yes. Oh, it was also black because I'm thinking that she was. It was also a black lady in the one with Jeff Goldblum. It was played by a black woman.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm I'm gonna get the name of that. But I was looking at it as he called his sister that. She also knows both versions of Mark. So although she may not work at Lumen, she has been able to build a rapport with any Mark and Audi Mark in that sense. So I'm like these things, and so it's like what this series is trying to tell us something. We just have yet to figure out like everything that they're trying to tell us, but they're telling us something, and we're still trying to figure out what that is. But I thought about that, and she's trying to see both sides of the story, and she wants Mark to stop being that let me rely on what's rational and what's logical, and to show you have severed your mind. There is a whole nother world out there that you don't know about, and you need to wake up and realize this.
yeah. I mean, I can see that. She also was. I think she was slightly traumatized by seeing any Mark, and because for her, that's just her brother. It don't matter what psyche is in control. So any Mark is telling her, "Hey man, there's some BS going on." She don't want her brother going through that, whether he's aware of it or not. Um, but like, I don't know. She's pulling on him. She's pretty much telling him that this ain't healthy, bro. You sever your mind to deal with grief, and now the severed part of you is saying, "Hey, bro, there's really some problems going on over here." So it's like you have two problems. You have grief as the outie you, and you have drama as the innie you.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, it's just you because that's her brother.
Mm-hmm.
But she is really pushing him on Miss Casey, on his wife, pretty much. And he has this diehard will to like not listen to that. He does not want to think that his wife could possibly be alive, even though later on he kind of lets on that that's what he's thinking. Like he believes she may be alive, she may be wrapped up in this Lumen thing as well. But in the beginning, he definitely didn't want to believe that. Like and he explained to her, like, it's the difference between feeling for somebody who's lost somebody and feeling the loss of somebody. Those aren't the same. So like I understand his disconnect, but I think he's really not understanding where his sister's coming from and why she's worried. But at the same time, he has never gotten to see his any self the way that she did.
Exactly. Chaos, by the way, is the name of the series on Netflix. That's about Greek mythology with Jeff Goldblum. It's called Chaos. And Mark is so tied into the thing is, and she told him this in season 1. Ignoring your grief is not the same thing as healing it. He refuses to heal this grief, and that's why he's still so very angry This is why he's still so very triggered, because he won't heal it. All he does, and they show like he's still crying a lot. He misses her very much, and in effort to not feel that, he would literally rather sever himself than to sit in that. And she's telling him, you're so wrapped up in this anger and grief that you're not willing to see things from a different point of view. You're not willing to look at things differently, because if you look at things differently, you're going to have to touch on the basis of what happened, and you don't want to do that. And he's not in that place. But Devin is not going to let this go, because she knows something, because she, like you said, she saw any Mark and his desperation, and Outie Mark didn't, he didn't get to see that. She's just like, there's something going on, that you at work does not feel safe, that you at work knows it's a mess going on there, but you on the outside choose to ignore it. And it's almost people, when it's like he's bottling up the things that bother him, and she's telling him, we got to talk about it. And he's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. But it's going to be a matter of time before it starts to bleed over. And it doesn't matter if you want to or not, you're going to have to face it anyway. And I think that's what she's trying to communicate. And he ain't trying to hear it, though, right now.
Yeah, he's not.
But he's going to have to, because Lumon said, we need you. We need you, my guy.
For some reason, I don't understand why it has to be Mark specifically doing the little cold harbor protocol thing. Like, why does it have to be him specifically with his supposedly deceased wife? Like in that case, what's everybody else working on? Like, what's the rest of them working on? If Mark is he's so important. Like, they let Dylan go, they let other homeboy go, they letting people go easily. But Mark, they want Mark. They want Mark to stay for this thing that he's doing that we don't know the end game of. But I wonder, why is it him? Like, can nobody else see the code? You know what I'm saying? But the person who's assigned to the thing, is that
Or
part
is
of like
the code somehow
chip in the
connected
brain?
to Miss Casey?
I'm saying, but like,
And
can't
they need
nobody
him.
else see that shit? Like, no
But it
other.
might be different because that was his wife, and they might need him to say, and also to test to test the effectiveness of the severance, because to have Miss Casey right there in his face and he not even know that that's his wife, or to have him working on code that have something to do with altering her consciousness, it would have to test the effectiveness on, do they recognize each other? And maybe he's the only one who can alter her in this state. I don't know, but and remember, he was also a history teacher, and whatever they're working on may be tied to some historical stuff. They may need him. They may need his. They may need any Mark because of Outie Mark's intellectual level.
Maybe so. I always, when just the concept of severance made me immediately think about like super soldiers. Like, you have people who are, when they're switched on, they're like freaking Captain America. When they turned off, they're like regular people. And like, when they was talking about when they was telling Helly how to do her job, pretty much, they was talking about how you would find the code and you would put it in certain boxes or whatever. And like, there's a progress bar on the little Cold Harbor screen, and it's like 70% or something like that. And it's like, I feel like they're uploading something. They're uploading like consciousness or something into that. But I don't like, one theory I heard, it was saying that they were making a chip with the deceased person's personality on it. And like, if they're doing that, like an engram, like a copy of your psyche, but it's not really you, that's some cyberpunk shit from the video game. Like, they really, I mean, I'm not calling it theft, so to speak. But if it's that, then that's been done before, and I don't like it.
They trying to bring Kier back to life, is what I believe.
Yeah, but is it gonna be if they do that? Is it him, or is it a program of him? Where's the soul in this? Is there a concept of a soul, or does this universe just not deal with souls? Is it only the psyche?
Well, that's when you start arguing things about ethics. And
we're
you
way
know, then
beyond ethics with this.
exactly think about ethics, and then we start talking about, you know, Full Metal Alchemist. Is it a real person if it doesn't have a soul? Like, what do they call those people that were walking around?
Homunculus.
Right, those things. So it's a lot of layers in this. Maybe she said, "I'm getting out of here. I don't even want to live in the neighborhood no more."
Man, first off, just to be so arrogant not to take the position, I would have still taken the position. Like, of course, they're putting you on the leash. They're keeping you out. Homeboy done took your position. But technically, you got a promotion. And technically, you're getting paid more. And technically, you're still part of the company. I don't see, like, is her cult-like devotion so out there that she can't accept anything but being on the Severance floor? I guess that's her thing.
I know we ain't seen the last of her.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
I feel like she's definitely on a mission to do something. She's on a mission for something.
Yeah,
and she's gonna find somebody. Yes, she's gonna find somebody to help her. I don't know who it's gonna be, but she's gonna find somebody to help her. She wants to bring Milkshake down, number one.
Oh yeah.
Because old boy took her job. She ain't happy with that. She's not happy with Helena at all for talking to her very condescending. She don't like the lady that is the correspondent between the board. So she's got a vendetta against them. But it's like, but at the same time, she wants to see Kier win.
Cause she's in a cult. Like she's mentally bought into whatever they're selling. Problem is, we don't know what they're selling, man. Like that's the issue. Like we're watching it, and like there's this big, I don't want to say an elephant in the room, but there's just this giant surprise that no freaking body knows what it is, but everything revolves around it. And it's like to have characters in the show know it, but we don't know it. It's like, oh, you're driving me crazy, man. Like,
absolutely. Y'all drop your theories in the comments. I've heard the theory of purgatory in there. I've heard the theory of a dystopian society in there, a consciousness swapping in there, uploading consciousness in there. Hell, they might be in the Matrix, some of them at this point. We don't know what's going on. This is some Black Mirror stuff happening here, but we hadn't got enough answers yet. So drop in the comments and let us know your fan theories. Episode 3, we will be back here on next Sunday to review the episode. Hopefully the pace picks up. We had to do some house cleaning these first two, but I need some answers as to what's going on. But there are a lot of clues and Easter eggs. If there are some clues and Easter eggs that we missed, please put them in the comments so that we can go back and check that out. I respond to all the comments, and we could talk about it in the next video, what we've seen. Again, if you made it this far and have not hit subscribe, please do so. Check out on the channel. There's a quick review for Wolfman, a Goosebumps review, Squid Game 2. I'll be dropping a review for another throwback horror movie. There's a blog now. I'll be dropping the comments, the link in the comments, and we will see you all in the next one. Y'all enjoy.
I need the cash. I need it fast. I treat the stash like it's up for grabs. On the road to the riches, my foot on the gas. I'm chasing success like this is my last. I wake up in the morning, thank the Lord that I made it up. I was so close to the edge like a bad bitch, baby help. I turned a little nothing into something, like I put a bun in the oven. I first get red like a newborn. If you weren't with me going through storms, then you can't make it rain with me. You ain't in the struggle when the struggle trying to hustle. Don't play with me. You sleep for a week, you spend the day with me. Look at my Nine shoes, half problems, even lacing it. If I handed you my talent in a cup, you know dry niggas will probably end up wasting it. Now who's gonna clean up that spill? Look at my lane and see God at the